All right, hey everybody, welcome back to Hacking the Headlines. In today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about the dangers of opening up your third eye, because this is something that I have seen increase in popularity in recent years, and it's also something that I have personal experience with. Some of you might know that before I was saved, I was dabbling in all sorts of occult stuff, what I would now call witchcraft, even though I did not realize that's what I was doing at the time. But through practices such as yoga and these certain meditations, not biblical meditation, but a demonic form of meditation, things like lucid dreaming and tarot card reading, through these things, I ended up opening up my third eye, and it was a really terrifying experience. And even people who promote the opening of your so-called third eye will tell you there's a lot of dangers to it. And sadly, it has ruined many people's lives. But anyway, just for anybody who doesn't know what the third eye is, it's typically referred to as the pineal gland, which sits in the center of your brain, and it's called the pineal gland because it's shaped like a little pine cone. And now people in New Age spirituality, they will claim that through these spiritual practices, you can open up the pineal gland to give you extra special abilities. But who knows if it's even the pineal gland that's involved in this, because there's no studies or proof that has been done. Only God knows what's going on in your brain and your body when you go through this sort of so-called spiritual awakening. But whatever it is, there's definite changes that take place. So what this is really all about is the Kundalini spirit, awakening the Kundalini spirit. And the Kundalini spirit is an ancient practice, and Kundalini actually means serpent spirit, and we all know where the serpent comes from, right? But they claim that there is a serpent that is sitting at the base of our spine, and through certain yoga poses and meditations, you can awaken this serpent spirit, and it will wrap itself around your spine and open up your chakras as it goes. And then when it reaches the center of your brain, that is when your third eye is opened. And now we can see this like in ancient Egypt, and this is exactly why the elites are so obsessed with the Egyptian culture, is because this is the type of stuff they were practicing. These are the ancient Babylonian mystery teachings. And that is why, like on the pharaoh's headdress, there is a snake poking out of it, because they say when you awaken the Kundalini and it reaches that third eye chakra, it's then the snake looking out through the third eye, the Kundalini looking out through the third eye. So that's why we see it on these Egyptian pharaohs' headdresses, the snake poking out. That's what that is to represent. And we can also see this symbolism in other false religions, such as Hinduism. Lord Shiva, so-called, has the third eye opened in many of the paintings. And this is the same so-called god that is outside of CERN in Switzerland. And the opening up of the third eye is a common thread that runs through almost all the false religions. I was also a practicer of Tibetan Buddhism, and they were heavily into opening up your third eye. And that's actually what happened when I opened up my third eye, was through these Tibetan Buddhist teachings. So it's no surprise that they have this third eye demon outside of CERN, Switzerland, because this is what the elites are all about. They want us all to open up our third eye. They want us all involved in these Kundalini practices. And now I'll get comments from people whenever I talk about this stuff saying, no, you don't understand. This is the knowledge they're trying to keep from us. This is the ancient spiritual knowledge that they don't want us to have. But nothing could be further from the truth. And when you just look out in today's society, it's plain to see that they are trying to trick people into awakening their third eye, into awakening the so-called Kundalini spirit inside of them, so that they can have instant access to the demonic realm, because that is what the third eye is really all about. It is a gateway to the demonic. And now we can see this. Some of you might be familiar with Manly P. Hall, who was a 33rd degree Freemason. He wrote a book called The Pineal Gland, the Eye of God, talking all about how to open up your third eye and what a wonderful gift it is. Now, this is also the same guy who wrote The Lost Keys of Freemasonry. And in this book, he spills the beans on what Freemasonry is really all about. It says here, when the Mason someone learns that the key is the proper application of the dynamo of living power, he has learned the mystery of his craft. The seething energies of Lucifer are in his hands. So just like Albert Pike and all these other Freemasons who tell the truth in plain sight, they worship Lucifer. That's what the third eye is really all about. That's why this guy is writing books about the pineal gland and it being the eye of God, because they want people to open up their third eye. They don't care if you know what you're doing or not, as long as that Kundalini spirit is awakening inside of you. And this is why, for instance, why we see so many yoga studios pretty much on every street corner now. Everybody is suddenly into yoga. And that is because yoga helps to awaken the so-called Kundalini spirit. And it opens up the chakras and leads to eventually the third eye opening. And this is a portal to demons. It connects you to the spirit world. And that is exactly what ended up happening with me when I accidentally opened up my third eye. And thank God he saved me from that deception, because if he hadn't, I don't know where I would be right now. Many people have even lost their lives and committed suicide because of the effects of opening up their third eye. Now, of course, these so-called spiritual teachers will tell you, oh, that's because you're not doing it right. That's because you're not ready to open up your third eye yet. That's because you need to become more spiritually enlightened through these occult practices in order to get yourself ready to see into the demonic realm, which is absolutely ridiculous, you know. But here, if you just type in third eye into a Google search engine, one of the first things you'll see are 5 signs of your third eye is opening. And it says a dull sensation of pressure between the eyebrows. Sounds lovely. Increased foresight. Prone to light sensitivity, wonderful. A feeling of gradual and continual change, and increased headaches. There's also many other physical symptoms that go along with this, many of which I personally experienced when I was doing this stuff. And I also had psychic abilities. I was seeing things in the future that were really scary, and then they would come true. I was having really terrible nightmares. I was being pretty much attacked by demons in my sleep, which is another very common experience. This is from a very popular New Age spirituality website talking about what happens when you open up your third eye. It says the third eye is another mind that lets you see things very differently. Once it is open, you see things that you are unable to see before. We share this world with fourth dimensional beings that we are unable to see with our eyes. Opening your third eye lets you see how you are sharing your world with them. These entities around you aren't always pleasant. This might scare you, and you don't find peace anywhere. But when the third eye is open gradually, you become known to the other worlds as well. So this is the same type of garbage you hear from all these new age teachers that, hey, you just have to become spiritually ready for it. You have to work harder. You know, you're just not doing it right if you're having bad experiences. They want you in a place where you don't care if you're getting visited by demons and you just take it all as it comes. You know, they want you to totally empty out your mind, empty out your consciousness, and let whatever comes in through this third eye opening. And then it says they don't scare you because you have achieved higher consciousness and you have a better understanding of the world. See, that's exactly what I mean. Once you have achieved this higher consciousness, which is really just getting rid of your independence, getting rid of your, your identity. This is why a lot of their meditations focus on emptying your mind, just letting whatever thoughts come in. This is to prepare you to let whatever demons come in once you get into the higher stages of these practices. Then it goes on the same website to talk about the nightmares that happen opening up the third eye. It says many people claim to see nightmares after opening the third eye. It is not something unusual because dreams are a part of the mind, and what you see with your third eye turns into dreams. People often say they see demons. These nightmares don't let them sleep properly at night. Some nightmares are that scary that many people don't want to sleep anymore and avoid sleep as much as possible. Well, it is also one of the dangers of opening up the third eye before the time is right. So before the time is right, you got to learn how to welcome these demons first. You got to be okay with these demons. And once you're okay with them, then you can open up your third eye. This is literally what they teach in New Age spirituality. So yeah, I mean, this is just some examples for you guys to kind of give a broad explanation of what the third eye is and what is so dangerous about it, and how it has been used for literally thousands of years to connect people to the demonic realm. And like I was saying at the beginning of this video, this is an increasing trend. You know, not only are there yoga studios and palm readers and psychics on every corner, but it's also all over the internet, all over social media. Here we can see an ad: activate your pineal gland with harmonic sound wave technology. Unlock your higher spiritual abilities and activate your consciousness, expanding neurochemicals with advanced sound-based brainwave technology. And this is also something that I was heavily into, something called binaural beats, and this would induce lucid dreaming. And yes, I would have nightmares. The most terrifying nightmares I've ever had in my life came when I was listening to these so-called binaural beats that are supposed to activate these spiritual gifts inside of you. And this is the kind of stuff that's on the market right now. And even here on YouTube, there's tons of videos, countless videos teaching people how to open up your third eye. There's even music you can play while you're sleeping. There's instructionals about it, and even videos that say, oh, watch out, don't open up your third eye. You know, you'll click on the video and it will say the same garbage that article was just saying, that, oh, it's just because you're not ready for it yet. If you're having bad experiences, it's because you're not spiritually awake enough yet. You know, so that is how they trick people. This is how the enemy tricks people into these spiritual deceptions, is by making it look like something good, is to tell people that it's the path of spiritual enlightenment, but really it's simply connecting you to the demonic realm. When you open up your third eye, it's like having instant access to demons. So this is why they're all about trying to get people into this type of lifestyle and into these type of occult practices without them even really knowing what they're doing. You know, most people who go to their local yoga studio don't realize that they're actually practicing ancient Hinduism and ancient, you know, Babylonian teachings that lead to demonic possession. And sadly, you know, they will pay the consequences for that, just like I did. And unless they give their life to Jesus Christ, you know, really terrible things could happen as a result to these so-called spiritual practices. So yeah, guys, that's it. Just had a few thoughts on that I wanted to share with everybody, but I can't wait to hear what you guys think about it in the comments below. So make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet, and don't forget to hit that like button on your way out, guys. Thanks for listening. Hope you all are having a great night, and I'll talk to you soon. God bless everybody.